All right, so we just saved everything. We've got all these handy dandy views up here, and now we are ready to send this to layout. And, oh, I'm sorry, wrong button. Right here, this one. Okay, you can choose a template. I like the tabloid template. It just works for me. And now I'm in Paperspace. So this is model space in SketchUp, and now I'm in Paperspace here, and I've got a 9, or pardon me, 11 by 17 tabloid size. And you can see when I click here, this is the viewport. If I double click inside the viewport, it'll actually take me into the model and I can kind of like move it around. But what I want to do is I want to set up the scenes so I can export this to Photoshop. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, up here, SketchUp model, it'll give you an option for window and you can do a default tray or whatever you like. But in this section, it's landed on scene 6 because that was the last saved view. I'm going to do scene 1. That's my rendered view. I'm just going to think about it for a minute because it's a very different drawing style. And here, I'm going to have to change this to none and redo this. Scene 2, let's try scene 2. Okay, there it goes. So sometimes it takes a minute for the model to catch up, but you can come here and reset the camera if you need to. So I've got this one. I want another one. So I'm just going to copy this page. You can either add a page, subtract a page, or copy it. The copy is in the middle with this just plus button. And so I want my two scenes, and then I'm just gonna think about it for a second. And then I want I'm gonna add a page, and I'm going to select scene 3. That's my section cut. This one, I kind of want it to be scaled. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to go to 1 inch equals 100 feet. I'm going to just test it. That's way too small. So I'm going to try 1 inch equals 30. That's better. And I don't like how it's cutting off the basketball courts here. So I'm going to just move this over. So I double click to open it up, and then I can like hold shift and move it over. You can see now, the other thing is if I want it to go all the way over to the water, I might just do a smaller scale. And that'll give me that view to the water. So now I can kind of like draw in the water if I want to. And I'm going to duplicate this because that'll maintain where it is in the model. And I have to have the viewport selected in order to change the view. And then I'm going to hit scene 4, and that should update. So see, it gave me a nice cleaner version of that. And then I'm going to do the next one, and I have to select the viewport for it to let me change the scene. And I'm going to hit scene 5. And that looks a little goofy. So I'm going to update the style in here. And this is really not the scale I want. So you see the scale didn't change, and it was too zoomed in. So I think maybe I want 1 to 100, and it's in the wrong spot. I think it's the right scale, but I think it's the wrong spot. So I'm just clicking in here, and this is allowing me to move it around. And Now I've got it in the center and I've got it set to the scale that I want it to be set at. So that's great. And I'm going to duplicate this. And you can either duplicate it with the button or you can left click on it, like the viewport, and then I can do scene 6. Oh, that's right, scene 5. Let's reset this. There we go. Now we've got the rendered version and we've got the line work version. So we're ready. And all we have to do is hit export. And you can also save this if you're in the middle of working on something. And if you're working back and forth and updating the model, the paper space will automatically update. There's a little refresh button up here. Right here, this link is a button to relink it, or you can hit the refresh here too. There's also, if you want to add in dimensions and things like that, all of that is available in this program too. But for this level of drawing, I think we're going to go ahead without that information. I'm just going to call it drawings.